children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Welcome to Final Guys, where tonight we are talking about Jack's Wet Dream, a big-budget original vampire movie in the theaters. We are watching Sinners. Well, I guess we're talking about Sinners, since we've already watched it. I am the always dumb Jason Brandt, joined by Jerry Steinfeld, Jackson Campisi.
Good evening.
Special guest, Sin, returning host Tim Meyer.
Hey, what's going on?
And Lutsky.
Saint ain't no ain't.
And the awesome whack Hunter Shane.
How you doing there? Let's make some vampires, should we?
I don't know why I decided to throw a shot at Chad right in the middle of that.
Good way to say
It's going to be interesting talking about this one because I was like halfway through the movie and I was like, my God, I hope nobody's sitting beside Jack. They're going to be seeing some sights. All right, before we get into all the usual BS, anybody have any news, announcements, books, videos, appearances?
I have a PSA. So, there's a lot of guys that, sometimes they feel like they're inadequate and they look into ways to enhance themselves to be better in bed, maybe just better looking naked. Let me tell you, penis enhancement can cost a lot of money. It's tricky. If you get it, it might not work. The penis might not work. So instead of getting a penis enlargement, get a hand miniaturization. So it looks so much bigger in your tiny hand.
You look like Donald Trump.
It's huge.
You just took The Stranger to a whole nother level.
I sure did.
You're like Chris Elliott in
the
movie.
I found this in a candy store and I'm obsessed. This thing has been in my pocket or on my finger for 5 days now.
Why was that in your candy store?
Great.
Remember Kristen Wiig on Saturday Night Live when she would do that?
And I'm Denise. So get your also a miniature hand. I might get one for each finger and walk around with them.
I just realized that because I'm using the creepy couch camera tonight, this is the first time anyone on the show has seen kind of more what I really look like. I'm really not that ghost white, but my webcam hates me. And I'm almost darker than anybody on here right now.
You are. And I'm
crazy.
As hell right now.
It's all about the
When
lighting.
you joined, I was like, what the hell's going on with Chad?
Yeah.
That would explain it.
Well, you
He
still
looks
look like a
healthier.
roadie for the Black Crows, so that hasn't changed.
So you have this really good camera. You just don't use it for this show? Is it a pain?
Yeah. Well, you know how it is to set up, and I mean, you even give me advice once the setup is there. Don't touch it. So
That's true. I did. That's true. I did. Can't say anything.
Right
All right.
back at
I opened all this crap behind me last night. So as usual, I'm going to pick the top movie and show you guys what insanity I got. And that is Chupacabra Terrors.
Nice.
Oh my!
Oh, that's right up my alley, right there.
I was going to say this is John Rice Davies. Look at that. So
Wow.
yeah, I got way too much of this crap last night. It's horrifying,
What Toten send you?
dude.
What didn't he say?
Half of those movies.
Did he send you like the Fragile box and it's him inside?
There was a stiff sock, but I threw it out. Anybody else?
It's Jack Sinner's sock.
Anybody else have anything to announce? Tim, how many books you got coming out?
I don't know. Not much. I
You got
did
any
have
movies coming out.
I don't have anything coming out in the near future. But I did have an audiobook drop last week. The audiobook of Malignant Summer came out. So
That's news.
Yeah.
Whoa, what
So-
poor bastard read that?
that's that little chat book you wrote, right?
Yeah, small.
Dude.
It's like it's only 24 hours long. It's no big deal.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's
Jeez,
now
man.
available on the Audible. So
Did you have to pay someone for that? Did you do like a
A
royalty share?
royalty share, yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
Good.
you must have some serious cash. Holy shit.
The narrator did a fantastic job, though, so I kind of lucked out. Sometimes with those royalty shares, you kind of don't know, but I got really lucky, so it's good.
Awesome.
Nice, dude. That's very cool. All right, who wants to read the drinking words? Since Sheridan, in fact, is not dead.
I'll raise my hand. Thank you, Sheridan. I'm so glad you're alive.
Raise
Okay.
my hand. Nobody could see it.
It's not.
I gotta
It's
watch
not.
this thing soon. It has been in a lot of places. All right, tonight's words. Jack says, Creed, Sammy, or Dracula, take a drink. My words tonight are veteran, smoke, and blues. Jason's words are period, twins, and music. The period twins. Nobody likes to hang out with them. Chad's words are racist, juke, and guitar. He knows. Chad says the word racist all the time. And bonus words, which will make Tim's words, are South, Jordan, and vampire. So
Very nice.
get ready to drink, boys and girls.
Glad you're not dead, Sheridan. Kind of.
Yay.
And with that, it's time for Jack Campese's award-winning news segment. It's the news. Yay.
All right. We got some fun news. Tim, you got nothing to plug? You could sponsor the news tonight if you want.
Malignant Summer audiobook.
That's right. Buy it or die.
Also,
Go over to Audible.
firefighters of the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
There is a movie in the works coming to you from the guys who made Super Troopers and Greg Nicotero, the makeup aficionado. Walking Dead's probably his crowning achievement. The name of this movie, Hunter, I feel like you've already written this, or you're going to be pissed when you hear the title of it.
That's going to be dumb, I'm sure.
The Slashing of the Christ.
Oh, my Lord.
What?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Broken Lizard is the is involved in this. I guess that's the Super Trooper guys.
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm in.
Anybody offended by it? Anybody gonna?
No, I love blasphemy. I'm in.
More the merrier.
Years ago, I'm talking like the 90s, I tried to write like a comedy about Jesus coming back down to earth, and he had all these phobias of nails and wood and shit. And it was like a really dark comedy. And as I was writing it, my computer died. So I restarted on the next computer. The floppy disk died. Then another disk died. Then I got a virus. And I said, I'm not writing
That's
this
what you
anymore. So it's like 4 things stopped me from writing that. And my wife was like, just print it out for later. I'm like, nope, it's gone. It's in the winds.
Take the hint.
Yeah, I took 4 times for me to take the hint.
So who knows? Maybe we'll have a nice like Easter main feature next year.
Oh, Jesus. Maybe it'll come out with Mel Gibson's doing the thing about the resurrection of Jesus. So that'll be the counter program.
Passion of the Christ 2 he's working on.
Yeah. Which
Jesus' revenge.
I'll kill all you sons of bitches.
I'll be back. I told you I'll be back. Hey, Judas, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied.
You can't kill me. I'm a vampire.
Who wants some wine? All right. So there is a movie out now that, you know how there's a million of these children's IPs that have gone public domain, and Chad's watched a bunch of them. The Steamboat Willie and Popeye and all these other ones. And every time it happens, we roll our eyes. Like I watched the first Winnie the Pooh and I quit after that.
Not
Well,
them.
Not me.
One has come out recently in the theater that I was writing off as just another one of those, called The Ugly Stepsister, which is playing on the Cinderella thing, but they're calling it a body horror movie. But apparently it's like 95%, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and is getting like great buzz. And I brought this up for news because it's going to hit Shudder on May 9th.
Oh,
Nice.
So I feel like when we've got a slow week in May, Ugly Stepsister. So you guys willing to give a chance on a 96%er on Rotten Tomatoes for Fairy Tale?
As long as that's not. I pleaded with people before not to support the guys who made the Winnie the Pooh and then the Popeye one. I can't remember which. There's like 2 or 3 Popeye ones, and
sad.
Yeah, because they're doing it as fast as they can and they're just ripping people off. So
I watched the Mousetrap one. That one got me.
Yeah,
it suckered me in.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was garbage.
It was.
There's a
pretty
Mousetrap
bad,
other than the Mousetrap from like 20-something years ago.
Yeah,
remember
not the
like
one with
Nathan
was that
Lane did it or
Nathan Lane? Yeah,
Yeah.
No, not that one. This was it's Mousetrap based on like the Steamboat Willie thing, but it was pretty
barely
pretty not good. It was pretty not good, but you know.
But you did buy the steel book and it's right behind you.
Yeah, you know, what's $36?
You got to
He's a
support
completist.
your indies. Complete garbage.
Hunter, you'll be interested in this in particular. Once again, our pal Adam Caesar's Clown in the Cornfield is coming out next month.
I saw a poster for it at the theater, actually.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Well, May 2nd and 3rd, select drive-in chains are going to be showing it first.
Dude, I saw that. and I
War
checked
Brothers
it
and
fast.
Galaxy, amongst other chains. I don't know if any of those are near any of you, but if you have a drive-in near you, take a look because that sounds like a great movie. The Tucker and Dale guy is like the director of this movie. So
Yeah. I have 3 drive-ins near me. None of them are part of this sneak. I don't think any in the state of Pennsylvania. So it's too bad. And Adam lives in this state.
probably warmer states. Is your drive-ins going yet? It seems like it's a little early for around here.
I have one that's year-round. So I've gone to see things in the snow there. But then the 2 others have just opened. So they're cranking.
All right. Well, if anybody sees this movie in a drive-in, shoot us a note and let us know. That'd be cool.
Yeah, let us know the
Oh, yeah.
vibe.
Did you say that was 2 weeks?
May 2nd and 3rd. That's like next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
Second, that's Friday.
that's this week.
Huh. It's like the end of this week. Up. $5 foot long.
Josh Barrio, you get a wave. Ugly Stepsister has a rating of 3.7 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
that's surprising as hell.
Well, the Rotten Tomatoes, is it like based on 4 reviews? Like, there's always that.
I didn't do that much research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Rotten Tomatoes in years.
Nobody
You got a
does.
thing
Letterboxd.
against those tomatoes?
I hate that site so much.
You know, like aggregators?
Thanks, Josh. 3.7 out of
Yeah,
5
buddy.
for a horror movie is crazy high.
Especially for something like this, like the concept alone. You're like,
Letterboxd has weird ratings too. I never hardly see anything above 3.1 or lots of good movies on there rated low.
huh. Oh, that's on the radar now.
Our last piece of news is on a down note. Actress Lar Park Lincoln, star of Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, has passed away at the age of 63. Thought we should acknowledge that because of all the Jason movies, that's one of the landmark ones because that introduced not just the one before it introduced the supernatural. This introduced the supernatural foil to Jason.
Yeah. That's my wife's favorite Friday the 13th. She can't watch that one enough.
Is this the Carrie one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. It has great stunts though. Really good stunts.
Look, it's not bad. Like Jason Takes Manhattan to me is just total track. This one's way better than that.
I think part of what hurts it, other than the X-Men storyline, is coming from 6. Like those are big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
I just remember the moment I was seeing that in the theater as a kid or whatever. And when you're like, oh my God, she's got psychic powers. this franchise is finally like just losing its mind. It was like,
But I remember the movie theater was bananas. Like everyone went nuts in that movie. Like those were like Friday the 13th movies in the theater were events.
awesome.
Crazy.
Is that the one where when they blew up the house, it like screwed up the cameras? It like melted the cameras or something because it was like way bigger than they anticipated. I think it
I
might
can't
be that.
remember if
Dang.
that's that one or is it 4?
I thought it was
I
that
can't
one.
remember now.
But
That's the last one I saw in the theater.
Jason X was the last one I saw in the theater, and by then it was different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Subdued.
What did it say what she died from? 63. It's crazy young.
She'd been battling breast cancer.
Mm.
So I don't know if that contributed to it. So it's too bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So we'll give her a rest in peace. And that is all the news that's fit to print.
All right, let's see what crap we watched this week.
We have such sights to show you.
Tim, if you would please.
Lead
us
off hitter.
Oh, leading off. All right. I watched I've been like really into like comedy horror lately. Like that's just been my go-to.
That seems like way
so-
too broad of a category for you.
That's true.
It'd be like comedy horror with wigs or like, you know,
Yeah.
Made in the 90s.
Oh man. I don't
Keep
have
going.
I
We'll
can't
figure
narrow
it
it down. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. The first one I watched is actually a movie that I've watched probably like 3 times since it came out. And I think it only came out maybe last year or maybe a year and a half ago. It's called Onyx, the Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
I have heard of this. I think I watched the first 5 minutes and then I was like, I need to come back to this later.
Sounds like a He-Man episode.
That title
This-
staggered Hunter so much he knocked his.
I
freaking
knocked my
microphone.
mic over. I was like, what the hell? Oh, boy.
This movie is amazing. It is so like inspired by like the horror movies of the 80s and the 90s. Just pure fun. It's got some people that you might recognize. Barbara Crampton's in it. Jeffrey Combs has a big role in it. He plays the villain.
Wow.
Nice.
And then probably a bunch of other people you probably don't know. But yeah, it's basically about like this nerdy Satanist who kind of worships this he's kind of like a magician, like a Satanist magician that's very popular on like YouTube. And so he basically wins a contest to go to the Satanist's mansion to have a weekend with other winners of this contest. And like they're supposed to just like, you know, raise demons and whatever. And then they get kind of sucked into this nefarious plot by the Satanist guy. And yeah, Jeffrey Combs plays the Satanist, and he's so good in it. It's like such a bonkers role, but you know how he plays those roles like to perfection and just like crushes. It's so good. Like the characters that go to the mansion, they're very unique, and they have like their own like there's a professor, there's like a housewife, there's just all these like different like societal like characters that kind of represent, you know, different sections of society. And it's really goofy and funny, and like I laugh out loud every time I watch it. It's really good. And
Where is it?
it's on Prime, I think you can watch it. I have the
think
steelbook, so
I recognize that guy that there was pictures of. He portrayed himself as some kind of nerdy Satanist like 15-20 years ago on YouTube for like a fake interview thing.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. That's how the character started. I think he worked for like, I want to say like IGN or like one of those like gaming like websites. And he used to do like just quirky interviews in character in this Onyx character. And it's basically just a character he made up to do like these goofy.
Sounds like an ain't it
interviews.
cool guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's one of those like websites, but he would go to like conventions and interview different people in this character, and just it became like very popular. Like Chad just said, like it kind of like blew up a little bit on the internet. And so the guy who plays that character wrote and directed the movie, and I think he kickstarted the whole thing, which is even crazier. And I don't think I think the budget was maybe, I want to say like 600,000. And it looks pretty good because there's a lot of like practical effects in this, which I really appreciate too. So like the horror stuff is all practical, with the exception of the third act. It gets a little bonkers, and they had to do some CGI with it. But even the CGI doesn't look bad, but it's very inspired by the 80s and 90s. And if you're in for like a good goofball comedy horror, that I think you guys will actually like it. I laugh out loud every time I watch it. It's just so funny. And I find the character, he's supposed to be like a little irritating and annoying, but I find him absolutely hilarious. So if you're like me, you'll like it. If not, I don't know, you might not, but I don't know.
What's that short title again?
Onyx, the Fortuitous, and the Talisman of Souls.
Oh my Lord, I got to type that in my Roku.
I'll text it to you.
You sold me on this. That actually sounds kind of interesting.
You would like it, Brant. You would enjoy this a lot.
All right, sold.
Just remember it's a taste.
It's comedy taste, which we're
Good.
learning is we don't
Good.
know.
As long as the
There's a
comedy
mini
isn't grating-
series. There's certain mini series he recommends too. Just
No, I
right.
think you'll like. I think you'll like it. It's if you like Psycho Gorman, it has like kind of like that kind of
course.
like
Love Psycho Gorman.
it has that kind of like, it's a totally different movie and a totally different like style, but I think a lot of the comedy is similar to that. So
All right, sold. Hunter.
All right. There was nothing new out that I'm like, there's just nothing I want to spend more than 15 minutes of my time. And I said, I'm going to go back in the Wayback Machine. So I went to Max and I found a movie and realized there were 5 movies in this franchise. And I've only ever watched one of them. So I went back to the OG, Scanners.
oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
1981 Scanners, David Cronenberg.
That's the only one I've seen.
It's dude, there were 5. There's Scanner Cop and Scanner Cop 2 that come out in the 90s. This thing just goes on and on.
I think I have copies of the Scanner Cop movies, so I'm assuming they're not.
They're on
Great.
YouTube. So it's weird. So I figure what I'm going to do every week, I'll do one of these Scanner movies. So I started at Max. I'm going to go to Prime. I have to go to Tubi for the 3rd one. And then the 4th and 5th are on YouTube. So, but I started out with a classic. I haven't seen Scanners probably since the early 90s. It's been a long time. I forgot how freaking good this movie is.
Yeah.
It came out in 81, I think. It feels very much like a 70s movie. Like I'm thinking this is like Chad. It's like porn right here.
Yeah.
70s feel, Cronenberg, body horror.
He's got to borrow your little hand just listening to
Sit
this.
right there.
Don't hurt my hand. By the way, that scene right there with well, what's his name again?
Ironside?
Michael Ironside. He's like a poor man's Jack Nicholson. It starts out with a bang, as in the bang, this head is exploding, which is an iconic moment where this guy has this, he's going to demonstrate this ability to like get into your head. And he picks the wrong man. He picks a man who is a scanner, and he makes this guy's head explode instead. This movie works on every level, even though the main guy, the scanner guy that they kind of recruit to go after Ironside, is a horrible actor. Oh my God, is he bad? A cardboard cutout with a voice box that you use for somebody who doesn't have a trachea would be better than this guy. But whatever, you don't even care. It doesn't matter. He's just there to move the story forward and do some scanning. This movie is so much better than I remembered it to be. I liked it a lot as a kid, but have not thought about it in years. So go to Max. If you've never seen it, check it out. You have to if you want your horror card, or else we take it away. And if you haven't seen it in a while, definitely go back and watch it, and then come on the journey, as I'm sure I just go hip deep in shitty remakes and sequels. But it's a good start. It's not going to get any better.
I'm really curious how big the fall off is to the second one.
Yeah.
I think it's precipitous. Cronenberg wanted nothing to do with any of the sequels, probably for good reason.
All right. Chat.
Okay. This week or last week, whatever, I tried to watch horror movies. They said they were horror movies, but I don't know about that. The first one that I watched was on Tubi from 2018 called Baby Frankenstein, and I watched it because the cover it looked like some outlandish full moon production, but instead I got E.T. meets Nickelodeon.
Oh my God.
Teenage kid moves into a duplex with his, that's not even the poster that I saw. There's actually a very cool poster. But this teenage kid moves into a duplex with his single mother, and in the attic he finds a little person. I guess this is what we're supposed to call them. He's a Frankenstein under a bed sheet, and the kid accidentally wakes this thing up, and it goes running from the house.
Josh Barrio, right back at us. New Fear Street movie comes out next month. There we go. Didn't we? We did Fear Street. That was the main feature.
We did that. We also reported a new Fear Street a few weeks ago on the award-winning news.
Thank you, Joshua.
So here it comes. See, it was true.
You're ahead of the curve. It's not just fake news.
Tim, were you on when those movies came out?
Yes.
You were.
Yeah, he really liked them, I think.
What? Oh, the Fear Street? Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, I really liked those movies. I think I liked some more than the other, but yeah, those
The
were
bread
fun.
slicer is the best part of all of those.
Oh God, yes.
I couldn't get through the first one.
That makes sense, yeah.
But he got through Baby Frankenstein.
Get ready for the fourth one.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't on the show. I didn't need to watch them for Final Guys, or I would have.
Yeah.
True that.
I just
You had
shut
a
it up.
choice.
So anyway, Baby Frankenstein.
Thank you, Josh.
They end up finding this thing in the backyard after he took off running, and the teenager befriends the girl next door. Now they're good friends with Baby Frankenstein, who they affectionately call Little Dude. They go bowling with him. They hit the playground. They take him to the neighbors, and they teach him stuff, all the while asking zero questions about him being green or that his brain is on the outside of his head. Instead, he's like just this lost puppy they found. You get a cast of characters like oh, there goes my camera. You can hear me. Yeah,
fancy
we can hear
camera.
you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, right.
Your
We don't need
expensive
to see it.
camera is not holding up.
Yeah.
No.
What a nice
So-
picture.
So you get a cast of
Good
characters like
aspect ratio.
It's
The
improved
moms-
greatly from what it was before.
Let me finish
Tremendous.
this so I can get this going. Mom's douchebag boyfriend, who is probably the best part of the movie. He's like over the top, and when he sees the little dude, he thinks it's a chupacabra, even though he sees this thing plain as day. And so the rest of the movie is trying to hunt the thing down, especially after finding out there's a $50,000 reward for Baby Frankenstein, because it turns out, Jack, I can see you. You can't see me.
I'm doing your face so that people know what you're saying. What
Yeah.
if they're deaf?
He's
Well,
lip
they can read
syncing.
my
He's
lips.
lip syncing. Let him lip sync.
I'm lip syncing.
Flip your hair around a little and stuff.
I don't have any hair to flip. around.
I'll flip the hair around.
Okay.
There you go.
$50,000 reward for Baby Frankenstein, because it turns out this thing is actually a prototype stolen from a corporation. So I don't know, man. There's one scene where the douchebag boyfriend is so, despite this being like a kind of a family movie, this boyfriend is so desperate to find the monster for the reward that he busts in on the teenager taking a shower to ask where the monster is. But because he doesn't want to give away why he's really there, he tells the kid to show his penis, because this is what men do. Because this is what they do
Obviously.
in the Navy.
So many droppings of the P word tonight.
Lots of peens.
So yeah. But anyway, it's like a family friendly cat and mouse movie, very
Wait,
much like E.T.
I'm sorry, you said family friendly?
Yeah, show me your
Yes.
penis like they do in the
That's
Navy.
that's family.
Well, he calls
oriented?
it a schmeckle, so I think that makes it more family
No,
friendly.
that doesn't
the
make it more
schmeckle.
family friendly. No. That does not.
But well, okay. Well, the rest of it is. But there's even a scene in here on Halloween.
Mommy, what's a schmeckle?
On Halloween night.
Let me
When
show
on
you.
Halloween night they go trick or treating with little dude, and they cover little dude with a sheet with ghost eye holes, and we get some under the sheet POV, just like ET.
I feel like baby Frankenstein is what Hunter calls his junk.
there's
When I'm touching it with my baby hand.
so accurate.
It's alive.
Oh, it's alive! Finally.
there's a Blue Velvet homage in here that misses the mark. It's so bad. The makeup is good for what they were doing. So is most of the music, actually. But and a couple of the actors are, with what they have to do, they're not bad. But this is just a bad movie, and not bad in a good way. If you want like a formulaic, feel-good Hallmark adventure with a little green guy, you might like this. But if you're just looking for a bad horror movie, this is not it. So,
Quick question.
I will not
Would
be
you-
watching this.
Would you rather watch this again or watch Lisa Frankenstein again?
oh man, that is a good question. I think I'd probably watch this again.
Oh wow.
I was going to
Wow.
say, I would think at least production value might catch your attention. But all right, Baby Frankenstein over Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while Chad fixes his,
Go fix your
Camera.
schmeckle.
what do you have, Jack?
I'll tell you what I did. I stepped up to the plate for our fans. And I said, well, we watched Dracula 2000. Somebody's got to watch the sequel. So I watched Dracula 2,
Oh,
Ascension.
geez.
Better you.
I've never
I
seen
dropped-
this.
Close to $4 on this.
Oh wow.
Oh, dude.
I had to know. Oh God. So, spoiler alert for the end of Dracula 2000. But Dracula is vanquished. Mary Van Helsing replaces him in his super coffin and picks up her father's business, and now she's sort of like a Blade character in London, continuing her father's work or whatever. This movie picks up right after like Dracula is hanging from the cross, and they retcon the ending so that doesn't happen. Dracula's body is taken to a morgue instead.
Is it a real morgue or a gym morgue? Like
It is a gym
first
morgue.
one.
It looks like it's a big room with tables. It looks like a gymnasium
New Orleans.
with some anyway. And these two people are doing like the autopsy, and they figure out that this is a vampire. And naturally one of them cuts themselves a little bit. So in the classic vampire movie tradition, that starts all the trouble. And then eventually Dracula is reconstituted, but it's not Gerard Butler. It's some other dude, but because he's been burnt, he's like all white with blonde hair now. So he's very ghoulish, so you can't recognize who it is anyway.
Right.
But it's just a different guy. And then there's a dude in a wheelchair who's like the boss of this crew, and they take the body to this other location, and they start to they basically tie up Dracula to use his blood for the eternal youth stuff. And then a lot of really dumb stuff happens. But there's also this like Blade like priest who is like, he got bit by a vampire but went out in the sunrise or something, so he's only half vampire. So he's like the badass, so bad it's good hero who's hunting them. And so he shows up every once in a while to do some sword work and martial
sounds
arts and things
awful.
like that. And the most notable thing that happens in this movie, Roy Scheider is on the bill. He's a priest. I don't know if it's the Vatican or wherever. The Blade guy has one scene with him. It's maybe 2 minutes long. And I don't know if Roy Scheider is supposed to be blind or if he's just looking at cue cards, but he's never kind of really looking.
His eye line's all jacked up.
So Roy Scheider is blink and you miss it scene. I'm like, this is Chief Brody, for God's sakes.
This has
And
to
then
be
there's
right
one
before
other
he
scene where
died.
they show him real quick. But if you're gonna drop your $4 for Roy Scheider, watch Blue Thunder instead. This I'm telling you guys, if you thought Dracula 2000s bad, this movie says hold my beer.
Dear God.
I don't know what the hell you just said.
Did he have
Is
good looking
BIG
brides?
bad?
Could be.
So it's not even Dracula 2002. It's just Dracula 2.
Dracula 2 Ascension.
They just dropped the whole 2000 thing.
They dropped the 2000. Now, there is a Dracula 3, which I don't know if I'm going to drop. There's kind of a cliffhanger ending that I'm like, right now I'm not feeling compelled to watch that one. But then there is
Wonder why.
an unrelated to this. There's a Dracula 3000 that I've seen before with Casper Van Dien and Coolio
Well, that sounds
and Erica
amazing.
Eleniak.
You had me
that-
at Coolio.
What's the
I'm
name
Sure
of
it's
the...
Coolio? You sure it was Coolio?
Yes, because I've actually seen this movie.
It was Bismarcky. What's the name of the third one? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, it's probably on YouTube.
I'll look it up right now. No, it's not. You got to pay for that one too.
Oh, that's terrible.
Why of all
Legacy.
movies that wouldn't be free to stream? I mean, how many people are paying for this?
Right, exactly. You think crappy movies.
The lead woman, a show that I don't watch, but I've seen commercials and scenes for Stutz. There's a redhead in that show. She's like the lead girl in this.
Brandy Roderick's in this too, I saw.
I don't even remember. Oh, she's the girl at the beginning. Okay. I didn't even realize that was her.
She's so pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Way
Okay.
to take one for the team.
We were joking about having to watch that show in the future, or that movie in the future for the show, and you were just like getting it out of the way right now.
yeah, no,
Thank
when I
you.
sat down to, I was like, okay, I got to watch something for the show. I was flicking around. I was like, this is the window. I'll either watch it this week or it kind of loses its effect. So let me just bang it out.
Did we start a GoFundMe to pay for the third one? Make you watch it?
Yes, if I get somebody sends me $5, I'll watch the or a book.
All right. Well, I watched a movie that I was affectionately thinking of as Lutsky's Nightmare, because if I've ever seen a movie you would hate, it's this Bagman.
Oh, ooh, it looks cool.
The cover is cool. It's shot pretty well at times. Like it's got that kind of 90s, very saturated look, like very contrasty look, I should say, that horror films had, which I like because, I grew up in that era watching those movies. Yeah, that's it. This movie is so generic. And so I was really struggling to pay attention to it, honestly. The villain is just blah. It's like, why is he doing this? I don't know. There's a cool effect where if the Bagman gets a hold of someone, a kid, and he starts putting them in the bag, he just breaks their limbs and folds them over and pushes them in the bag, which is really cool. It happens twice in the movie. And because this is rated PG-13, it's pretty muted. The people he's doing it to aren't even really screaming, because I have a feeling they couldn't do too much of that without going into R.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought at the beginning, hey, I might like this. Oy. There's a part where they're doing voiceovers explaining who the Bagman is and how you need to survive him at the end, because they're like, there's no way anybody has been paying attention and remembers what we said 30 minutes ago. So we're going to have to repeat it over the ending, because there's no way anybody gives a shit at this point.
Oh man.
Yeah. So there was some talent in the way this looks, but boy, is the story bad. And you also don't want to be the kid of the couple in this who they think the Bagman is going after their son. Bad things happen, put the kid in a room by himself. He'll be fine. We'll go check it out. It's like that level of storytelling. So Chad, do not ever watch this.
Yeah,
You would.
I'm glad you said something, because I had my eye on it.
Or watch this and be ready to explain everything wrong with it. Because, yeah. No, I mean, I hate to say that, but there's nothing scary. There's no tension built the whole movie. And to me, the one thing a movie can be that is unforgivable is boring. And I found this very boring. So,
Man.
So you're saying this movie just wasn't your bag?
Oh,
Man,
yeah. So there you go, Bagman. What you got, Tim? That's the wrong way.
Anyway.
Oh man, are you guys ready for this one? This gem that I found. All right.
This is gonna be
So
crap.
if you know me, you know what my favorite monster creature subgenre of horror is, right? Like you guys know.
Grown adults going into a bathroom and
90s
asking to see a kid schmeckle.
No, definitely not that.
Oh.
What's
Greasy
my
horror comedy?
90s cosmic would be your wet dream, I guess.
No.
Any movie that needs more grease.
No, I've written a couple books about this creature animal. Chad did a cover for one of them.
Oh my god. Why am I drawing a blank?
Chad did the cover and he's drawing a blank.
Yeah, this is weird.
Well, to be fair, I did a couple covers for you.
A pterodactyl.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a
Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
Sharkwater Beach.
There we go.
Fucking love dinosaur
feel
movies.
bad.
And I
I feel
really
better.
love like cheap, low budget sci-fi horror dinosaur movies that they make. And there's like so many. I don't know if you guys have really checked this.
There's a lot.
There's
By
a
the
lot.
Sci-Fi Channel. I know.
Like there's a lot, and they're all bad. They're mostly bad, but you know, they're also like I kind of forgive them for their because like listen, nobody's got a $300 million Jurassic Park budget, right? So they can't like make these things look really good.
There's a charm to a lot of them.
There's a charm to them, right?
Yeah.
So I was perusing at Prime, and I found a movie called The Invisible Raptor, which takes the genius of having that really bad CGI dinosaur and it just takes it out completely, and you're just left with the just all the other effects that are bad. This movie is something else, and I loved every second of it. Invisible Raptor. It has a few recognizable names on there. Most notably Sean Astin
Samwise.
from you know all those
Rudy.
movies.
Sean Astin still look like he ate Sean Astin.
He looks good. He looks good. He's only in it for like a lot of the bigger names like him and Richard Reel. You've probably recognized his face
there he is,
before. He's been in like a ton of stuff. There's maybe like one other recognizable name in there somewhere that was only in it for like a scene. But yeah, like so this movie's ridiculous. It starts out as most of these movies, these dinosaur movies do. It starts out in like a secret facility where they have created dinosaurs, right? And I think like the military wanted to create like invisible dinosaurs to use in war, as you would if you had access to living dinosaurs and you were the military. Of course you would do that, right? So they have so basically it starts off with Sean Astin. He's like the security guard, and I will say this movie pays homage to Jurassic Park, like pretty much in every scene. It very much
Pays
like
homage. Nice way to say rip off.
it pays homage. Like I like that. It straddled the line between paying homage and just like completely ripping off Jurassic Park stuff. So, and they reference Jurassic Park like maybe half a dozen times, like literally in the dialogue. But I don't know. I still didn't care because it was just a crazy ass movie. But yeah, it starts out in this facility, and Sean Astin's like the security guard, and he's wearing like the same exact shirt that like Wayne Knight wears, like the Hawaiian shirt from Jurassic Park. And he basically accidentally lets out the invisible raptor, and it kills him, obviously. It's first scene, no surprise. And then the raptor runs around this town.
Wait a minute. Sean Astin is the Drew Barrymore of this movie?
Yes, exactly.
He said, "Get me out of here quick."
Yeah, that's all they could afford is about a 3-minute cameo.
He's the Roy Scheider of this movie.
And then basically, yeah, this invisible raptor starts terrorizing this neighborhood. And the main character is a paleontologist who works at like this amusement park. And his introduction is literally the same thing from how Alan Grant's character from Jurassic Park, where he's like walking to kids around a bunch of amusement park, and he's telling them about the raptor and how it like claws. Yeah. So there's that. But like this movie is like, there's a lot of flaws, obviously, but there's just something like I loved about it. There's a few times I laughed out loud. You guys aren't gonna watch this probably, so I'm just gonna tell you things.
I mean, if I had the flu for a week and it was on and I couldn't get to the remote,
listen,
there's a better than average chance I will watch it.
Brett,
this
this would be a so bad it's good candidate for sure, because it's definitely in that wheelhouse.
Right.
And there's just like so much ridiculous things that happen that you would probably just be like, this is insane. But there's this one scene that just like cracked me up where so the paleontologist kind of reconnects with his old girlfriend, and the old girlfriend has a kid that I think is not even hers, but like the paleontologist like has this idea in his brain that it's his, like he, because she's like a 10-year-old kid, and that was like when they dated. So like he thinks it's hers. So like the whole movie he thinks it's hers, and then he finds out like that it's not her, and he's like so relieved. And like the kid is literally like right next to us, right next to him when he finds out. And she's like, "I'm right here," and he's like, "Yeah, I know, but fuck, like I'm so glad I'm not your dad." And just it's so like fucked up, but pretty funny. And yeah, I don't know. This movie was something else. So.
Available at the Best Buy bargain bin.
It's on Prime, and if you have 90 minutes that you don't care about in your life, I recommend it.
I've seen the thumbnail on Prime.
IMDb says it's an hour and 55 minutes.
Is it that long? All right. Well, if you have an hour and 55 minutes,
wow,
then
that's a long time.
It's a big ass.
30 minutes of it is invisible.
I will say though, like some of the gore effects are not bad for like if you've watched these types of movies, like the gore effects can be like pretty shitty. And these are actually not too bad. Actually, the story and the characters aren't too bad. It's just like it suffers from like the tone of being too ridiculous versus serious, and like there's a lot of inconsistencies within the characters themselves. But like it's also a movie about an invisible raptor, so who fucking cares really? Like I don't know
exactly.
Like I don't know. It's just like it's just fun. I don't know. It's worth watching if you like these types of things, or if you like movies that are like stupid and bad, but also if you have like I don't know.
If you're into spoof invisible dinosaur,
there you go.
This is why we love you, Tim.
If you like invisible dinosaur horror, then invisible dinosaur horror, then this is your thing.
It's like the Citizen Kane of.
Is this the Citizen Kane of invisible dinosaur horror?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or if you're into reading, instead get Tim's Pteranodon Canyon. I don't know what it's called. Book.
Pteranodon Canyon.
Okay, there we go.
Fun book.
Never could say it. It is a fun book.
Which is a very serious Western.
Dino Western.
Tim's
on Amazon.
Micro genres are so well known. People are leaving comments on SBIG videos.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't I send you a screenshot a couple months ago? Somebody,
I think you did. Yeah. I think
somebody was in there like, "Oh, this is a Tim Meyer level of like genre."
It's
awesome.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
He is to bad movie makers what like a person who can't stop laughing is for comedians. Just love having him out there.
Yes,
you're a ringer.
No, but I genuinely love when you're talking about a movie the way you go into. Well, if you're into like tropical forest,
if you're into
Jedi,
tropical exorcist movies, this is your thing.
Exorcist movies.
It's fun as hell.
Freaking nuts.
All right, Hunter, what you got?
I heard the word exorcist, so I read a book. I read Legion by Peter Blatty.
Such a good book.
Legion?
Yes, Legion. It's Italian. Now when I read The Exorcist, I remember I read The Exorcist in a day. That book is so well written, it
Dang.
just grabbed me. This maybe not as good as Exorcist, but really what is. It's Exorcist is Blatty's creature. So after that, it's just you're just playing out the string.
It's some high praise there, Hunter.
Yeah. Now this book. You've seen it. You've seen The Exorcist 3. So this was the inspiration for it. 97% of this book is like a police procedural. It's Kinderman, the what the hell is his name?
George C. Scott.
George C. Scott. I was going to call Orson Scott Card. I don't know why that was in my head. Good God.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Turn it off. So he's police officer Kinderman. It starts out with a little kid being basically murdered and crucified on a dock, and he's trying to find out who the killer is. The weird thing about the book is Kinderman, and it's through his entire point of view, the whole book. He thinks and speaks in philosophy. So it's not like, it's like, hey man, do you get that autopsy report? And he'll talk about Descartes and stuff like that. It's just such a strange way to go about this book. I'm like, why does anyone talk to this guy? You can't get a straight answer out of him ever. You don't know what he's thinking. And then if you don't fucking react the way he thinks you should, he's like on your case. But all that said, this book is compelling. It sucks you right in. Like
Power of Christ compels you.
I was compelled. First 20 pages, I was like, what the
hell?
I didn't know what to think of it. And then the more I got into his head, I was like, this is just fascinating stuff. Like, Blatty is smart as shit. Like, we're all idiots. So that he could come up with a character that can talk like this and think like this is amazing. And then when he gets to the whole thing is they suspect it's the Gemini killer who has been dead for years, and the Gemini killer is back in a way. It does get creepy when he finally gets into the insane asylum and talks to Father Damien, resurrected with possibly the Gemini killer's soul inside him.
Damn.
Has anyone seen the director's cut of Exorcist 3, the one that Blatty wanted out there?
And I have.
Me neither. Tim, is it better? I assume it's better.
It. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, I don't
very underrated movie, but I haven't seen that version.
I don't remember it being that much different.
I don't think there's an exorcism at the end. They forced him to do an exorcism at the end of the movie.
I have one version. I think I have like the Arrow release.
There's no exercising in this book. There's no like.
I can relate to that.
Naturally, typically possessed people.
Exercising.
Exercise.
That should be a thing.
I mean, but it's a really good book, and I'm very glad I read it. And I got it for $2.
It's really good.
Yeah. So
I concur.
Legion.
But you could watch Dracula 2 twice for
the good thing is you can watch Exorcist 3 and then read this book, and you're going to get something different out of both.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there a novelization of The Exorcist 2?
The Heretic? God, I hope not. I'm sure there is. It came out at a time when they did everything.
Piece of shit movie. Oh,
now I got to find that.
All right, Chad, did you watch any other children showing their schmeckles family-friendly movies?
It's okay. I'm a moil.
That's my favorite subgenre.
But I did watch another movie that was supposed to be horror, but I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be scary, but I was looking for something for Creepy Couch. The wife says, "Well, I don't want to do a movie this week for Creepy Couch." So I call my buddy Jeremiah because the movie I wanted to do 15 years ago, him and I had a YouTube channel where we reacted to bad movies, and so because she didn't want to do one, I had him come to, well, not the couch. It's done remotely. It's a different.
You come
kind of
to the
episode.
couch or come on the couch. How does it work?
Anyway, this is a family-friendly show, there, Hunter.
Oh, yeah,
it's on his Patreon.
Family. You're the one who was whipping out a schmeckle first.
Yeah, you're the schmeckle man.
Kid schmeckles. Oh my
So
God.
because we watched the first two Birdemics together, I chose Birdemic 3 Sea Eagle.
There's a 3?
I didn't even know that until last week.
What the
hell? The first one
cover art.
is an absolute must-see for any fan of bad movies. The second one isn't bad either. So I was super stoked for part 3. Already hoping for part 4. At the end of the first Birdemic, spoiler alert, you find out the reason for all this is global warming. And they spend some time shoving, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, shoving climate change down your throat. Birdemic 3 starts with it immediately, with a guy who meets his love interest. They preach to each other. She talks about the sea animals getting cancer because of the acidity in the ocean. Then they meet someone else, and that guy tells them about wildfires because of global warming. Then another guy and another. And this proselytizing goes on for 56 minutes. It's one public service announcement after another for an hour. No plot, just conversations after conversations, broke up only by the main guy watching documentaries or the news talking about the same stuff. And then, so the only other break we get from this propaganda is when they randomly wax poetic about Alfred Hitchcock and his movie Vertigo for 5 to 10 minutes each time they talk about it. The last 20 minutes of the movie is birds slicing throats with their wings while people stand around apparently wanting to be killed because all you have to do is run inside. These birds just stand still anyway. It's got a ton of the same elements as the first. Awkward love story, random encounters, tons of driving around aimlessly, a motel love scene, bad karaoke with songs about global warming, and then, of course, the clip art birds, which when you first see them, and if you don't know anything about Birdemic going in, it's one of my favorite bad movie experiences because I had no idea about the movie at all. And if you don't, then it's great. But this movie's horrible. The cinematography is better than the first, as well as the audio, a little bit better than for this one. But it's not a movie. This is just, like I said, one long public service announcement, and maybe the most boring thing you'll ever see. So if you love Birdemic, you'll hate this. And if you hate Birdemic, you'll hate this.
You'll hate it even more.
Yeah.
Does Becky disappear in this? Because she's taking a shit?
I will say the one guy, the main dude, is in this movie. He's just got a beard and longer hair.
Oy. Okay.
That's
I never bothered. I watched the second one with you guys for...
Paleo cheese.
Yeah, paleo cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, this is bad on purpose. I'm not watching the third, so I never bothered.
Not many people did bother.
It's don't watch this. This is rotten.
All right. Well, you had a good week of watching movies then. Jack, what you got?
I got a very interesting found footage movie.
Ooh.
2013 called The Hunted.
I'm very excited.
So this is about two guys. One's a hunter and one's his cameraman. And they're going to, I think it's West Virginia, but I'm not sure. They're going to, for 3 days on this piece of property to hunt like a big stag. And he's trying to create his own hunting show. So they're going to shoot a bunch of footage and hopefully get some great stuff. That guy who's the lead, he's like Bane's main henchman in Dark Knight Rises. He's in Criminal Minds. He was like AJ's husband. You've seen him in other stuff. He's in The Collector. The Collector. So I think he's the director, Josh Stewart, as well as the lead actor. So the first half of the movie is mostly them getting their stuff, getting to the property, and the first kind of night there. They're going to spend 3 nights there. So it's kind of a slow build. But then the first night, they hear something in the woods that they're like, what the hell was that? And they, write it off as an animal or this or that. But then the second night, stuff really starts to happen. So there's a few reasons to watch this movie. Number one, this guy, what's his name? Josh Stewart. He comes from TV and movies, so he has a good eye. So the movie is put together, and he's got a professional cameraman with him. So a lot of it, they've got a ton of cameras and stuff. So they kind of cover the camera work excuse pretty well.
Right.
But it's interestingly enough, there were moments in this where suddenly something scary was happening, and I noticed there was like music. And I was like, "Oh, what the? They're
Can't do that."
He's going cinematic here." If you ever watch that show Third Watch, the old like NBC show about cops and firemen and stuff, there's another guy who was from Third Watch that I was like, "Oh, it's that guy." So there's a couple of recognizable figures in this movie. But the reason to watch this, I think it's free on Prime. The Thing in the Woods. There's a characteristic about it that I'm not going to tell you because I want it to surprise you. But it's jarring, and it's. I'm not going to say this is a great movie or anything, but it's worth a watch just to see what they did with this particular. I don't want to call it the bad guy in this movie, whatever.
We were speaking about sometimes it's a little more than an homage. If this is the movie I'm thinking of.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of Blair Witchy feel to this.
Oh, movie. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this isn't the movie I was thinking of, where it's basically Predator at the end.
No. I know what you're talking about.
That's that other movie. That was I forget the name.
That's like Man versus Nature or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then no, I haven't seen this one. Okay.
No, this one is. I'm watching this, and was somebody in the other room, and after they were like, what were those noises? What the hell were you watching? So there's a sound thing. Yeah.
Stop with the porn.
It's jarring. So
what is this on?
I think it's on Prime for free.
Okay.
It's a quick watch. If you're a found footage person and you're looking for something different, it's worth a look just to see what's going on. Again, you don't need the Steelbook, or maybe you do. But
what's it called again, Jack?
The Hunted.
The Hunted.
I would love if anybody watches it. I want to talk to you about the thing that I'm talking about, but I don't want to give it away because it's you got to watch it to.
All right.
Tim, your microphone sounds like it changed to your laptop.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. See.
While I talk,
my mic. Chat's camera went out. Tim's mic is. What the hell?
It's a banner episode. All right. I watched a very new movie called Ash. Which.
Oh yeah.
Wonder why you watched that.
What?
I mean, it has a similar title to somebody's book.
I don't know what you're talking about. So this was, I think it was in the theaters, but it wasn't near me because I wanted to go see it. It's a kind of a space horror film about these people who are up. I don't even know how to say this. The story kind of jumps around. This woman wakes up covered in blood and all her crew are dead. This is the very beginning of the movie, is her waking up and discovering this. And then it's her trying to figure out what happened when another crew member shows up from an orbiting spaceship, comes down to see if he can save them. This does not have a big budget, but the visuals are often great. And there is some... The finale, the gore, is wild. Like 80s old school gore. Very cool stuff.
Ooh.
The story is not good. It is just... It is not good. It's not all that well told. But there are cool moments. There's a surgical scene that's pretty good. Like I said, the ending is pretty good. There's some fractal design stuff in space that's really cool. And when you find out exactly what's going on, I like the twist. It was just kind of everything getting there story-wise was not great.
It looks cool. Those still shots look good.
There's cool ideas here, and they definitely reached beyond their budget with the effects, so I want to give it credit there.
Aaron Paul's in this, right?
Yes. There's basically two actors in the whole movie, and he's one of them. Yeah. A couple other people show up momentarily, but that's it. So, very small movie that, swings for the fences.
Yeah, I was going to try and see that in the theater, and I didn't make it out.
Yeah. It's definitely not worth the theatrical viewing. It's expensive right now. I definitely wouldn't do that, but...
The lead actress is the one. Did you ever see the From Dusk Till Dawn TV show?
No.
You know what? I never watched that.
She played the Salma Hayek character in that.
Oh.
You ever see Baby Driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in that too. She's
that's what I
John Hamm's
recognize her
girlfriend.
from. Yeah, so it's not great, but there's some cool stuff in it. So it'd be worth checking out just to see kind of what they did, but I really wouldn't spend money on it again. So
Well, I'm reading a space horror novel right now that's outstanding. I'll talk about it next week.
Oh, good, because I need another book soon.
I like invisible space horror.
In space, no one can see you. Scream.
Anybody have anything else? Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right, then let's jump to the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Alrighty, we are talking Sinners, a movie probably nobody heard of. It's not doing that well in the box office and isn't receiving much love.
Holy cow.
In the press, so I'm just glad we can introduce the world to this one. I think
yes, somebody has to.
Yeah, it needs to be discovered. Jack, since I'm sure you've been barely containing yourself this whole episode, give us a quick rundown.
It's been vibrating.
As Christopher Lloyd would say, this is in the 1932 Mississippi Delta, and the two brothers come back from Chicago, and they're going to open a juke joint, and they got to go around town and get all the stuff after they buy the joint. But then supernatural forces descend upon them, as well as some awesome music. That, my friends, Sinners.
That was a decision.
Inspired that?
That was a great choice.
What a mashup.
How did you decide upon that voice?
Yeah, where did that come
A
from?
week or two ago, I did a quick Christopher Lloyd, and I said, you know what? I can do that.
By the way, Jack, Chad, and I are about 2 years away from that being the way we actually speak.
Oh, boy.
I shot myself again.
All right, Jack, this is your movie. What did you think?
I saw this opening weekend in IMAX, settled in, and started watching it. And about halfway through, I was going, well, there hasn't been a ton of vampires, but I don't care. I am a huge blues fan, and this is just a damn good movie. And then when the vampire stuff starts to kick in, and I've had all this character development, there was a great payoff. And I walked out of the theater going, that was not just a great vampire movie. That was a great movie. And again, I'm a huge blues fan. There's a famous blues player in this that we can get to later. I've seen him 3 or 4 times. I've been to his bar in Chicago. So little things like that, I was flipping out. This movie was a gift to me. I thought it was so great.
Wow.
I'm so shocked.
Very cool.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. All right, Tim, how about you?
Yeah, I'm not a huge blues fan, but I like the genre and I appreciate the music. But I'm also a huge fan of this movie. I thought it was great. I thought everything from the acting to a lot of the set pieces and the sequences that happen, there's some great music stuff. I'm a huge music fan in general. So like, I loved it all thematically and a lot of the symbolism that went into like bringing the music part to the story was great. The acting was great. And yeah, I mean, like Jack said, like, I mean, you're watching this movie and it's like, are there vampires in this movie? And then
I've been misled.
And then, but like you don't care because it is like such a great like character piece, and I'm kind of like in shock with how big the cast was and how many characters there are, and like just how well defined they all were, and it's just a great piece of writing too. So I really like this, and yeah, I've also seen that blues player live, and it was probably one of the best shows I've ever been to. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But
all right, Hunter.
So I avoided everything I could with this. I saw a very small trailer for it
like 2 months ago, and I'm not a vampire fan. Not my bag. So I took my daughter and her fiance to see.
You're more of a Bagman guy.
I'm very much more of a Bagman, ball bag.
With a little hand.
We went on, I think it was a Wednesday night. Now here, you could go on a Saturday afternoon to a movie or Saturday night, and there's like 4 people. This theater was packed. There was
mine too.
No room in the inn. And I'm like, what the hell? I absolutely love this movie. I walked out of there, and I Jack, didn't I talk to you the next day? Or
You
that
talked
night?
to me that night, I think.
That night.
Your tweet, I saw your tweet first.
Yeah. I still believe this almost a week later. This is the best horror movie I've ever seen. Wow. Hands down. I've never.
What?
I think it is. I think it's a fantastic movie. And the fact that you get this kind of artistry, these kind of performances, everything in this movie, the way it gels, the horror genre has not had this kind of treatment ever. I'm dying to see it again in the theater, at least one more time, if not a couple more. And I never want to do that with the movie. I love the music in this. The Michael B. Jordan, outstanding. Haley Bieber, Haley
Steinfeld.
Bieber,
Way off.
Haley Bieber.
Way off.
There was a lot of Beaver talk in this, so I understand the.
Since I saw this movie, her stuff is on my feed 24/7. My phone was like, "Oh, he's in Sinners. Let's hit him with the Haley Steinfeld stuff." So all I see is clips of her. I don't know what the hell happened. I thought she was fantastic. The music was amazing. I love the Irish vampire. I thought he was fucking brilliant. And there were parts of this movie that just I am still thinking about, and I'm in awe. I literally, towards the end, felt myself tearing up that I was seeing something this good.
Wow.
I was so overcome with this movie. I can't explain it to you. And I thought maybe it would wear off and I'd be like, it was really good. But I'm like, no, I still think this is the best horror movie I've ever seen. And I've seen way too many horror movies.
It's pretty high praise.
Jeez, wow.
Insanely high praise.
Yeah.
All right. Chad, did you see this?
Jeez, man. Yeah, I saw this.
What you think?
I'm not really into blues either. But I although I was James Armstrong's booking agent for about a year, and maybe that's about as far as it goes. And I was actually just listening to James last night. So, however, this is not my favorite horror movie I've ever seen, but I can't really say enough good about it. It's I wouldn't call it a perfect movie, but just those kinds of words like flew into my head as I was watching it. Like this is like the cast is perfect. Just there was just so much perfect about it. And there was a couple real minor things toward the end that I'm like, shoot. But so minor that it just didn't matter. And it takes a while for the horror, but man, I did not care. I could have watched another hour of this movie, I think.
I said I could have watched 4 more hours and it's been perfectly fine.
If it never turned horror and it was just some kind of mistake, I was totally fine with that.
Yep.
All of the characters were so engaging. This is so well written and acted. And I freaking loved the vampires, their eyes, and it's easily in my top 10 vampire movies of all time for sure. I haven't counted them out. It might even be top 5. I don't know, but such a good movie, man. Yeah, I loved it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I love this movie. It's not my favorite horror movie of the year. I don't know that it'll be my favorite horror of the year of all time. I don't know that it'll be my favorite of the year, but man, is this well made. Honestly, I'm not sure that I might have liked it more if it just never became a vampire movie, because the first hour is so engaging. Yep. I was so interested in the characters and are these fucking dudes going to pull off tonight? This business? I was like, this is so good. Michael B. Jordan crushes. Absolutely crushes. At first, I was like, wow, they did a good job casting a dude to look just like him.
I thought the same thing.
It was like 10 minutes in, I'm like...
It is unbelievable special effects.
I don't know how far in it was, but I kept thinking, is that him? And then finally I saw it. And I was like, okay, that's definitely him. But damn.
By the way,
Good
can
job.
I ask you a question? Because my daughter thought this. She says his character, when he was Smoke, is darker skinned than Stack. I'm like, I don't know.
remember that.
I don't. see color.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
I don't see color, so I don't know.
I
could've-
can see that though because he's got a darker soul.
They could have lit him differently, probably. So like when
Yeah.
they do that, they shoot
Yeah,
it
watch
like
this.
yeah, exactly. So like
How
they
many-
shoot it like twice, and then they like when they do the editing, they like split the screen in half, so it's like they're both there. But yeah, it's probably just lit.
Smoke.
It's one thing I'm going to look for
Smoke,
when I go back.
Stack. Smoke.
I'm getting ready to use a one of my drinking words right here. But what's funny is it's so funny that you mentioned that because when I was watching the movie, it took me a while, and I was like, man, I feel like such a racist because these dudes, they look the same to me, both these guys. And so when I realized it was, I was like, okay,
Yeah, you
Yes,
passed the
definitely.
test.
yeah,
Wow.
definitely different shades. Yeah, I noticed
All
that.
right, cool.
But
Oh, someone put in the chat, Delroy Lindo was amazing. That dude deserves a fucking Academy Award for this movie. He was fucking
He was awesome.
so good. Like
Which was Delroy?
He was
The
the
old
old
guy.
drunk guy.
yeah, Slim. He was Slim.
Oh yeah, I love him and everything.
Dude, he's
Delroy
so great in
Lindo was
everything.
awesome.
Yeah.
So underrated as an actor, and
Yeah.
like he crushed this movie. It was like my favorite part of the movie.
The whole cast is amazing. It was Haley Steinfeld. Well, hold on.
Oh, $5. Josh Barrio,
Joshua.
which is paying for Jack's watching the next Dracula movie.
Yeah.
Did Erin also watch the movie? What did she think of Haley or the movie?
she did not watch the movie with me, no.
Oh,
Oh.
we'll never know.
Haley Steinfeld's delivery of some certain filthy lines were just awesome.
I have a bit of it queued up for later.
No, but this is one that as soon as it comes out, I'm going to make her watch it. Yeah, she didn't get to go. Anyway, Michael B. Jordan was so good, I wasn't even sure it was the same actor for quite a significant period of time. But everyone in this is good. And I wanted to mention the director, Ryan Coogler.
Coogler, yeah.
I've been very kind of hot and cold on him. Maybe not cold's not the right word, but I really liked Creed when that came out. Like I was kind of shocked at how good that movie was. I think Black Panther is way overrated. I don't think it's like a piece of shit.
I like
But-
Black Panther.
It's
The
like,
first one was good.
It's way over. I didn't even bother with the second one because I thought the first one was too overrated. But this, I'm like, holy crap! Like this guy knows how to shoot a freaking movie. Just them driving through the fields, singing songs and stuff. I was like, this is so well shot. Like, damn. So I would honestly, I don't know if I would have preferred that it's one movie about brothers putting a business together and another movie about vampires because I like them both. I mean, I like the mix, but like I was so into both parts in different ways that I loved it. But as my name says, it is very From Dusk Till Dawn in the
he
shift
said
of
the blueprint
the movie.
of
For
it.
sure.
He said he was very influenced by From Dusk Till Dawn. So
Yeah, you could tell.
Well, thank God he didn't lie and say he wasn't because
that,
wow.
he said that was like a major influence for the film.
There's also a little homage to The Thing in there.
And the faculty. He said those were the two biggest influences.
Really?
Faculty. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
I thought the editing of this was really great at times. When we first see the vampire go after the love interest, I can't remember her name, the white woman. Shit.
Yeah, what's her name in it? I can't remember.
I can't remember. But you see the vampire like leap in the air and it cuts when he's like 3 feet.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Great moments like that.
So yeah, we all liked it, but I think if you don't like this, is something wrong.
Yeah.
And
You
you're
must really hate
Mary
music.
is Haley Steinfeld's character.
Mary,
yeah.
there we
Mary.
go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So the thing about this movie, we can get more into it in spoilers, but the music is a character,
Music is so
Yes.
and the music is so great.
Yeah.
There's two
And then there's
musical
two-
sequences.
Yeah, the two musical sequences are where, as I was watching this, I was thinking about you guys and going, okay, we may lose a final guy here.
Nah. Dude, I could have watched a 2-hour movie, like musical sequence. Like those were the best fucking part. I thought those, like especially the first one where it was like kind of
we got to get into that.
Yeah.
In the second one, I said this to Hunter when we were talking afterwards. I was like, this movie looks like it was so fun to be an actor in.
Yeah.
Because this movie is theater. It's like all the stuff that like it's all the stuff about movies. Like it's movie magic. It's not just a grounded, gritty, realistic thing. There is like an awe to it. There is spectacle to it.
Yeah.
As well as this like awesome horror stuff. Like you said, the jump that you're talking about was so brilliant. But just going, the fact that I'm going to stop short of calling this movie a musical, but it's
definitely not a musical.
I mean, if you write out all the beats of this movie and stuff, you'd be like, this is not going to work. How he made this work, that's the magic.
Well, I think he understands like what a movie is like at its base. It's like all movies are like a visual and sound, and like he just understands that from like a base perspective and just kind of puts it all together. And like you get a lot of those like magical moments, like Brant said, like with the jumping, like that's such like a cool visual that like it just sticks inside your head. And you know the musical parts, like where it's just very like it's kind of like almost old school Hollywood, like it kind of felt like to me. Like I don't know, it was just it's very much just like a combination. And I love that about this movie is that like you can definitely see all of his inspirations and they all just kind of like meld together into like this just awesome movie.
Yeah.
And now, you know, Black culture is really embracing this movie, and it really speaks to that a lot. As a blues fan, I got into, you know, all the classic rock, Zeppelin, Clapton, and all that. And then I would hear who inspired them.
Yeah.
And then I was really into the Blues Brothers, and that was a gateway. And I started to learn about the Chicago players and all that. And then you started hearing about the Mississippi Delta and all that. So I'm no scholar on it, but I definitely have some familiarity with it. So some of the racial things that they cover in this movie, plus the cultural things, you know, unlike the Birdemic where you felt like that was banging you over the head, I felt like here, you know, it's, you know, the people who are from this culture, it was really speaking to them. But I think for us who aren't part of it, we were appreciating our view on it and getting another view. I felt like it was never hammering you over the head with anything. It was welcoming everybody in and teaching you.
An honest representation of a period in time.
I got that impression too, because we live in a world now where we are hit, you know, stuff is shoved down our throat every freaking day. And this didn't do that. So because it didn't do that, it was effective.
Yeah.
In a huge way.
Speaking of that, I got to tell you guys this. I forgot until you started saying all that. I walked into the theater. It's 12:20 in the afternoon on a Monday. That's when I usually go to the movies, and it's either me and one other person. Sold out. So as soon as I walk in, I'm like, what the hell? I'm the only white dude in the entire theater.
And good thing you're so small, you can
like
blend
the
right
Dexter
in.
Lake Club and Animal House.
Nobody noticed me slink in at all.
Giant white dude.
That's
So,
funny, man. That's
there's
like
the part
you go to. Just me.
There's this part where they're talking about playing blues for white people, and they're tapping their feet, and they're kind of getting the rhythm. They're almost getting the rhythm. At that point, the music was good, and my foot was bouncing. And I'm in one of those recliners, so everybody can see my fucking huge feet, right? And I'm bouncing my feet. And when he says that, I'm like, this fucking movie just singled me out in the theater. I'm sitting.
Called you out.
I was like, I didn't look around, but I was like, oh god.
Oh my god.
Because I don't get the beat to music at all. Like I just can't get it. So
like
when
Steve Martin in The Jerk.
Yeah. He said that line. I was like, oh my god, that was perfect.
That's great.
Whew.
All right.
You ready for the bell?
Good.
Yeah. Let's
Ring
do
it.
this.
If you haven't seen this movie, get out of here.
Yeah.
But if you
it's
have,
great.
Yeah.
sit back.
Flee.
I have two complaints.
I'll punch you.
Oh, here we go.
I know. I have to do it because when I like a movie this much, I feel like I have to mention something I don't like. I did not like the musical part where all the other timelines are coming in.
Oh, I love that was my favorite scene in the
me
whole
too,
movie.
man.
I had goosebumps for that
I
entire
didn't like that
thing.
either.
Oh, it
didn't
was
like it.
so great.
The reason why I didn't like it is because you went from having true, real talent to going to the point where there a lot of this music, because it's written by 15 different people or it's sampled from other stuff, and a lot of that was like tainting the real good music that was.
It's
that
just
was in
showing the
there.
bloodline.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the,
but it's you know what I mean.
the
It's like
mystical
real music
power
and
of the
then just
music
this
that they talked about at the
talentless stuff.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I didn't like it.
didn't like.
So
I didn't
for
like that
me,
at all.
when it first started, and you see sort of the Jimi Hendrix Parliament-looking guy,
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And
Yeah.
so there's like a few seconds of, "Wait, is this jumping the shark?" And then it keeps going, and by the end of the scene, I'm like, "What we were just talking about, movie magic."
Yeah.
I'm like, that to me was movie magic, and it was a brilliant. Like you said, they were talking about past music, present music, future music, breaking the barriers. I was like,
Yes.
what a great way to represent that. So for me, that
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't like it.
I
I
thought
didn't hate it, but
I thought thematically and it made sense, and I don't know. I love the shot too. It was like it's made it feel like a oneer where it was just like all going throughout, the different rooms and the different time periods. I don't know.
and it was
really
a
loved it.
beacon to the vampire.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's kind of like what drew them. So like I don't know. I love that scene. It was so trippy too, and you know how I like weird psychedelic kind of trippy stuff. So that's like surface stuff. It has so much deeper meaning.
can you guys guess what the other thing I didn't like was?
the first ending.
You mean the
false
KKK
ending?
one?
Well, I meant
Oh, I
the
love
first
that.
ending.
That was
ending,
great,
like the no, not that part. After that,
I didn't like the KKK ending. I thought
Oh man,
the movie has that's part of the movie's ended. I actually didn't think it was shot as well. I don't know if that was added later. Some of the angles he was shooting at, I didn't like that. I would have preferred if the KKK came in while the vampires were there. And it was
yes,
like,
that's what I was. That's what I
mayhem.
thought.
It was like a weird false ending, and I thought it made the movie longer than it needed to be. Again, I'm quibbling here.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm saying that had to happen because business wasn't done.
I didn't like that came after everything. I was like, eh.
But they set
I'm-
it up though.
I'm
They
glad he
set it
got
up.
to be the one to do it and not vampires.
Yeah, because they
I would've-
set it.
I would have liked the people inside versus the KKK versus the vampires. It's like a three-way,
Like a
tag
triple
match.
threat match.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought
Then it
that
becomes, oh brother, where art thou?
Man, we're in a
They-
tight spot.
They could have rolled in like banana, you
I
know,
need
like,
my Dapper Dan.
when the vampires were outside talking about the clan and what that the clan was going to get them and stuff and kind of woke them up to what was really going on. I thought that and they kind of promised this cool life and stuff. I thought that everybody inside would be like, okay, go ahead, and then they were going to go after the clan. I thought that's how the movie was going to, and we'd have like this Tarantino-esque the end of what's the movie, the Once Upon a Time in
Once
Hollywood,
upon a time in
where-
Hollywood. Oh, that
yeah, I
sounds
thought we were going to get
amazing.
something like that.
yeah,
I
so-
had no problem.
Jason, I feel like the other thing you didn't like is what the other scene we want to talk about is the vampires musical number.
no, I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that.
Dude, that was great.
That
too.
was killer.
Yeah,
That's
I
when
thought
I
that was
felt
good.
like
As hell.
Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld looked like, and the rest of the cast looked like they were having the time of their lives, being bloody
Yeah.
vampires dancing this Irish folk music
Yeah, that was great.
covered
Yeah,
in
no,
blood.
that
was-
didn't bother me.
Don't
The
mess
only
with
thing
the
that-
Irish.
I don't like, and this is not just like a knock on this movie, but like in general, when movies do this, sometimes like it's very rare. I like it when this is done, but like they'll show a later scene that happens at the end of the third act in the beginning of the movie, which they did in this, and then they show it again. Like I don't like that. I kind of wish they hadn't done that, but
Yes,
I
it's like
can
a
forgive
prequel.
it.
I already
Yeah.
know this dude's gonna survive. The
Right,
night.
yeah, it
Like,
kind of
stop
gives away some of the suspense. Like I wish they had done something, like they had replaced that that same scene with like maybe something else. But I mean, that's just like it. Other than that, like I think the movie is a gem. Like I
By the
love
way,
it.
that kid's a real musician.
I mean,
He's toured the world.
seemed
That
like
was his first movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
He had such a strange voice, like his talking voice.
Yeah.
that
It
scene.
didn't match his body at all.
That
No.
scene when he first plays, when he's driving with Michael B. Jordan and through the cotton fields, just like the joy that's on Michael B. Jordan's face when he starts playing, like that was probably like my favorite frame, I think, of like the entire movie. Just like it was so good.
The total shock.
The shock and awe and joy, just like all encapsulated in one image. It was so great.
And realization he was about to make a lot of money.
Yeah, that too.
So did you guys stay for all of the post-credit stuff?
Yeah.
I didn't stay for the very end because
Is there there's another one?
At the very end of the movie,
There's like 10 minutes. Yeah.
What?
First there's a mid-credit scene that's like the coda of the movie.
Yeah,
and at the very end of the movie, there's this little musical thing that if you didn't stay for it, it's not the end of the world.
I'm gonna watch the movie again, so I'll watch it around.
I'm talking about the Cosby sweater one. There's that scene.
That's the mid credits. There's another short thing at the very
at the
end.
very end.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw like the 93 where they flash forward and it's Buddy Guy.
That was great because that's where Buddy Guy shows up.
Yeah.
And that's what I was talking about before. I've seen Buddy Guy. He's one of the best guitarists I've ever seen. So as soon as they showed him, I'm like, is that Buddy Guy?
Yeah.
I've been to Legends in Chicago.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw him play in Philly with Tom Petty, and that was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life, dude. That like those two were it was amazing. They played on stage together. Incredible.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And if you talk to like Eric Clapton and like who were the best guitar players, Buddy Guy is always one of them.
Yeah.
Insane.
So having him, it was sentimental for a lot of people to be like, oh my God, it's Buddy Guy. But I like that little stinger at the end there, that little coda to the movie.
I heard a theory about that, by the way.
What's that?
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, it's spoilers.
So
I mean,
supposedly
we're here for it.
This is the running theory that when he's singing This Little Light of Mine, he turns. Now I didn't see the scene, but they said he turns and looks at something. The theory is that he made a deal with the devil, which is why he survived.
I don't remember him turning and looking.
Well, no, they tell you why he survived. Because when Michael B. Jordan's fighting himself, the good brother basically
saying survived that night, made it through the night. Like that, the vampire could have easily killed him when he had him outside.
Think so?
Yes. He's just gonna rip his fucking head off.
I watched that ending. I don't remember him turning and looking at anything, but at that point I was just like, oh, this dude's just singing the song. Like I waited 15 minutes of these credits.
Oh,
for like
I can't wait to see that because I just want to hear more of the music.
I have to check it out again. But
now,
awesome
they've set it up that if they wanted to do a sequel, they could do that.
Do not.
But I'll tell you the story that we didn't get that I'd like to, if they were going to do something else with this, those Indians who were chasing the vampire, and then they're like, it's dark, we gotta get out. I was like, I want to know what that's all about.
Yeah, like, they just were like, all right, have a nice night, and that was it. I was
they were like, we got to get out of here before the sun is down, which is like, it's refreshing to see people who are treating vampires wisely and not like, oh, the sun's going down, let's kick in the door and fight this guy.
And they were wisely, and then there's being like, deuces, good luck.
They were
didn't even tell him.
They're just like, see you later.
Well, like that guy, if you let that guy in, you're screwed. But they also saw that they were KKK people, so
that's true.
Okay.
So let's get to the vampire thing because, there's shades of From Dusk Till Dawn here, but it's not a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like it's all Assault on Precinct 13 at that point.
Yeah, well, it's just that From Dusk Till Dawn has such a weird structure that you really had not seen
two movies
before.
in one.
That when you see it again, it's like, oh, that's From Dusk Till Dawn. Like it's very unique.
And this movie's less comedic. There is comedic moments, but it's less cartoony.
Yes.
But there was some great stuff. When the Thing homage was the garlic eating
the garlic. Delroy Lindo's reaction to the garlic.
Fucking Delroy Lindo in this movie, incredible. Like if he does not get nominated for a supporting actor, I'll lose my.
The Oscars sucks dick. So
yeah, that's true.
Well, I told this to Hunter too. But my friend who is really into like trying to see all the nominated movies, she went and saw Nosferatu with me last year because he was going to get nominated for Academy Awards. She's like, "Oh, I need to see this. This is your kind of movie." So I texted her after. I was like, "You're probably going to need to see this, Pub. I would be surprised if it doesn't at least get some technical nods
something.
and musical nods. The acting should too, but I mean, he got an Academy Award nomination for Black Panther. I think
this is gonna get some attention for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially, I mean, The Substance sure did, and this is a way better movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is way better than The Substance.
Yeah, for sure.
One last thing that I thought was going to bother me, but didn't, and normally does in these kinds of movies. As the vampire stuff ramped up, there started to be a lot of electric guitar, and there's like metal playing in the background.
Yeah,
at some points. And normally, when I'm watching a period piece and they have modern music in it, I don't like that. But I thought just the way they managed to blend it with the insanity and the way it ramped, it actually worked, and I wasn't annoyed by that. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
By the way, I know like there are movies that have like clips, play it again, Sam, stuff like that. Do you think that Haley Steinfeld saying "you stuck your tongue in my cooch and fucked me so hard, I thought you changed your mind"? You think that's going to be the?
Can we talk about the spitting scene?
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
Oh, God.
Like I was like,
look, the people who are hooking up in that juke joint are not kidding.
Freaky.
Yeah. Listen, anybody goes into the other room, it's not just a little smooching.
It shocked me that like she had her vampire drool, which did they really explain that? Like I don't know.
That's another just cool vampire thing.
Yeah, it's just a cool vampire thing. Like they drool this like glistening viscous saliva, and it's like drooling down her lip, and she's like leaning over him, and he's like, "You got some drool there," and she's like, "What'd you say? Do you want to taste it or something?" And she's like, "Yes," and he just drops it in his mouth. That was great.
Hey,
vampire movies differ with their rules, that they choose to follow. And the one rule that I love that they stuck with that made the whole movie was they can't go in unless they're invited.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Too. Because otherwise they just would have went in and eviscerated everybody.
Yeah. Because they could stand right there at the threshold and have a conversation. And
that scene with
that.
You just reminded me. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Now, what was the bodyguard's name?
Cornbread.
Cornbread, yeah.
That whole thing with Cornbread trying to get in.
Oh, that was great.
Amazing.
And I was gonna say
their faces like swelled. Did you see like their faces were like all swollen up and shit? Like
Cornbread doing the dance with the big mangled face. Awesome.
Yeah.
What were we saying, Jason?
Just you saying about them needing invited inside. I liked when the Asian woman was like, "That's enough," and just was like full Rambo, and then immediately is dead. But
but she died gloriously.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah, that was another aspect. Like that was one of the things about the writing that I really loved was like all these secondary characters had like these like subplots that like really anchored the whole entire film. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
and I love that she was Asian with a Southern accent, saying "fuck you, Chad," for all the stupid comments you made about Asians a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, I read about that. Like apparently there was like an Asian population in Mississippi in that time too, like that were like that, and they had like they owned the stores, and that's what they kind of.
And they played into that in that music montage too.
Yeah,
she had the accent, but her daughter did not. Her daughter sounded like Asian.
They were second generation now.
Yeah, but shouldn't the daughter sound more Southern than mom?
Yeah, like who's the daughter hanging out with that she does, that she is Asian?
Exactly.
The daughter wasn't really a big talker though. I think she said like 2 words there.
Yeah. But it shocked me more hearing the daughter, and then I heard the mom speak. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe she was raised by
if I closed my eyes and listened to the father, I would think he was a black dude.
Yeah, I mean, they were Southern. They were just Southern.
Yeah, they were Southern, man. Southern.
If you want vampire movies that do the invitation thing well, the original Friday Night and the remake both have great invitation scenes.
I haven't seen the remake.
It's decent.
It's decent.
Watch.
Yeah, it's not bad as you'd think. Yeah.
And the invitation scene is one of the best scenes in the movie.
Oh.
Anything else before we get out of here?
I think we touched on this pretty well.
I'm going to see it again in the next few days.
It feels so good to talk so highly of a movie and praise
a
movie so much.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm going. You're not stopping me, Jason. Just stop.
My apologies. So for next week, are we doing Clown in a Cornfield? Is that what the movie's called?
I don't
Well,
know.
it's not out wide release next week. It's just the drive-in. 10 drive-ins across America.
Okay. Well, then tune in and we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Thanks for joining, Tim. This was great. Glad your house didn't burn down.
Thanks.
Yeah, Tim, it's been too long.
It has been too long.
We like
the
having
little
you
hand
here.
means it's time to go. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Good, everybody.
If I can find the outro file.
Game over, man.